What was your relationship with the works of Tolkien before you started working on this movie?
I had read the books when I was a lot younger, and every time the movies would come out, I got really, really excited because to me, they just represented everything fantastical and magical, and that was a world I liked to live in my own head. But I wasn't aware of Tolkien himself, or I didn't know much about his life, and especially not Edith, so this was a learning experience for me.
Yeah, completely the same. I mean, I'd read The Hobbit when I was pretty young, and then loved the films and these things. So I had a knowledge of him and his work, but I didn't know anything about the man behind it. So it was wonderful to read this script and be like, oh, this story, his youth and formative years are incredible, and you kind of can line up what would have inspired those stories.
So how did you prepare for your roles? What did the research look like?
My research was probably more limited because less is known about Edith, but I did look up as much as I could. There are some photographs I found which actually were very informative just because you could see there was a cheekiness behind her poised nature that really spoke to me. And I just re-looked at the Beren and Luthien story, and Luthien particularly, and just the idea of taking these fantastical qualities of elven characters and trying to make them as grounded and real as possible into a woman that would have existed in that time.
Yeah, and kind of a similar thing where I'd watch, there's interviews of him and recordings later in life, so I'd watch those and try and get a sense of who he was, but then go back and read and learn about the period of our film and what his life was like then, and then kind of with that read it alongside his work and try and piece together the puzzle of what he could have been like and feeling and sensing, and just work on the emotional connections between these characters.